cash.
Finding a place and locking them in. WNBA is about to begin. Gotta trust the process if you wanna win, cause Just Cash is back. You better tell your friends when Angel Reese walks in a bar with Asia Wilson and Caitlin Clark. These bookies don't know where to start. We be killing them all, tearing them apart. They can't mess with us, they can't mess with you. And I'm never gonna cuss cause I love you too. Hit thumbs up if you want good luck. Girls thinking that we fresh and they wanna We be winning the bets and they be rolling up. By far we the best, you ain't good enough. Ain't a damn thing funny, man, you know what's up. You wanna win some money, it's time to lock in, bruh.
Lock in, lock in.
Lock in, bruh.
Lock in, lock in.
Everyone's excited. I can hear them.
Yo, what's going on? Welcome back, fam. Welcome. We are back coming at you with a little Wednesday hump day. WNBA. It's Just Cash. What up?
Yay! What's that you got there? Let me zoom in on that a little bit.
A little recap action.
Little recapper. Oh, I see a red at the bottom. I don't like those reds. You know what that was, though.
Yeah. We got burned playing the money line, which we know from last year. That was on us. Something we're going to learn from and not make the same mistake with. But all in all, still was a great day. We got a push with Sims as well. So, technically, I guess we went 3-1-1, but not counting that as either or. Did cash on the slips, so hey, not mad at a 1.5x, and overall still had a really great day. We're still up units overall. We got 2 slips pending, 2 taco slips as well, so a lot of stuff going on in there. Make sure you guys be a part of the community, though. Don't miss. Oh my God,
don't miss
here. Don't miss out. Be a part of the community. Come check it out. We're still running the 7-day free trials down below, and make sure you guys check it out. Be a part of everything. And if you want some money or just here to have some fun, make sure and hit that like button down below. Want to make sure that everyone else is able to get in here and come learn and also win a little bit of cash. Never hurts to have some dinero in the pocket. All in all, though, I'm pretty happy with it. We learned something. It was unfortunate to have the money line and Liberty kind of choked the second half of that game out pretty bad and choked several leads, but it is what it is. It's typically why we try and stay away from money lines. That was kind of something that, we learned the hard way last year too. But all in all, can't be mad. We're X1 overall with player props. The only one that we've missed thus far was that Olivia under assist on day 1. And if that's going to be our recipe here, I'll take X1 all day long, all day strong. We got a couple of good pieces locked in early value for today as well. And one that was thankfully a part of our taco pairing from yesterday, but we had Anissa Morrow as her point prop. And then we got news that Brittany Griner was in fact going to be out today, so they're going to be down another star player. But I absolutely love these lines for Morrow. 12.5 points was a steal. FanDuel had it up for a long time. Even now, still, Underdog has her 13.5 points, which I will say totally fine with that too. You can get that there. It should be 13.5. I'm kind of surprised it's not. I know Prizepicks had her all the way up to 14 and 14.5 for a little while. I'm so sorry if I keep messing with my nose. My allergies are just going crazy right now. It's all windy outside. And then her field goal attempt prop, which I knew this was something that was going to see some action, and I saw a lot of cappers later on in the day, but all the way up to 12.5 field goal attempts now. So we snagged some insane value with that 10.5. They did only bump up her 3-point attempts. Well, actually, nope. I'll take that back. This was 2.5 earlier too, so that got a little bit of juice on it. And the only, they rung all of her props out, man. I was going to say the last one that was holding on for hope, 1.5 turnovers. I felt pretty good about this. Her usage rating should be pretty astounding for this matchup. And Vegas, pace and total and all that stuff looks pretty good for it. But they kind of nerfed her props into the ground. So, we do have limited options, albeit, but that's where you got to be a part of the Discord, get that instant value. We can't control the board, but we can at least try and jump on things as soon as news breaks. But yeah, these are full unit plays for us. I mean, all day. Morrow's been talking a lot of shit this season and really trying to make herself a presence known for this team. And we saw it in the first 2 games. I mean, her usage rating has been pretty astounding overall. The matchup against Liberty, I mean, she went out there with a 29% overall rating, put up a ton of field goal attempts, and she's had 15 plus in both of the games so far this season. So I do like seeing that in general. Scoring looks great. I mean, she had 15 points in that game against the Liberty and then the one against Seattle here. I mean, she still ended up off the bench, but 16 field goal attempts or 15 field goal attempts, 17 points, and 16 rebounds. So I do like the rebounding upside for her. Yeah, I think that is something that could be there, but, chasing 9.5, 10.5 rebounds is a little steep. The offensive upside, I think, is very much so there for her, all in all. I mean, really, removing Grinder from the situation, we're looking at 2 key players to take on a bulk of the scoring, which was another play that we had on the list here. Diamond Miller at 10.5 points. She was just 8.5 points this last game, so I'm kind of surprised they only moved that up a small margin, especially with her scoring 13. But it's going to be 2 players. I mean, this is a very similar situation that we're going to see from Toronto, where you have just a lot of usage going out to 2 specific players, and then it'll be a distant 3rd and 4th beyond that. So I'm looking at you, Morrow. I'm looking at Miller tonight. At easy double-digit field goal attempts for both of these players. I'm expecting about 14 to 16 attempts from Morrow by herself. And then Miller, I think truthfully 10 to 12 attempts at least should be our spot here. But if she doesn't have more than 12 field goal attempts or at least 12 field goal attempts, I would be highly surprised. They're going to need a lot from her tonight. And playing with the scrubs, coach left him out. Diamond played basically the entire second half of last game, 19 minutes and some change of the 20 possible minutes. And Morrow, I'm totally fine with her as a starter or coming off the bench. She should play 27 to 30 plus minutes here. But all in all, looks great. These lines were a perfect snag. Morrow, you might be losing out on a little bit of value now at this point, but you can still get Diamond Miller at 10.5 points. So get a little exposure on that. Both of these players should see a lot of action tonight.
Yeah, man. Looking good. 13-2 overall so far on the season. Picked up some good value this morning. If you're in the Discord, you got that with us. Diamond Miller, late edition, looking good as well. I'm a little scared of that one, but we're going to ride it out. Hopefully it comes through. And yeah, man, let me shout out a few people in the chat real quick. Big Sean is here. He said, cue the brooms, man. Cue the brooms. I like that. Cue the brooms. We got DJ Johnson. He is back. He says, I'm back, guys. Just in time for WNBA. What's up, bro? And
what up, man?
Too legit to quit 12 says F the Liberty. Yeah, man. F the Liberty for sure. They messed me up real good yesterday. I'm still feeling it a little bit. And Dirty Reg is back too. What's up, man? You said I took the points with the Fire and then laid the points with Phoenix. Ouch. Damn you, Phoenix. So close with that Fire points, and then Phoenix just Phoenix you. But that's what you get, man. That's what I got yesterday too. Sometimes it happens. You got to just keep pushing and make sure we make the right plays. And I don't know, man. I think me and E have decided we're done with money lines. I decided that last year and I totally forgot. And here we are, man. No more of that shit. We're not doing that. C-Dot's here. Let's effing go. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel, he says. Big Kevin Thomas is here as well. Join the Discord, says C-Dot. What's up, everybody? Let's get back to it, E.
Woo! It's a party. Let's go. Love seeing all the familiar new and old faces. Appreciate it as always. You guys, thank you so much. Love the support here. And we're going to do our best to keep feeding, hopefully keep winning, and, stacking up some units for this season. But let's keep it going. All right, so we talked about a majority of the Connecticut stuff. I think, again, minutes usage rating should be pretty stout for both of these players. So not too worried about that. But we talked about Mabry yesterday. Obviously, her line saw a lot of adjustments. She did end up going all the way up to even 19.5 points on some sides. I think 18.5 should be her stable line, though. But the alt lines for her, pretty much all trash. If you didn't lock that in yesterday with us, you're probably not getting any kind of good value at all. I believe Underdog had her at a 0.6, was it 6.7, 6.8? Okay, 0.69. So we went back up at least 0.1. This was a little bit lower earlier, but yeah, I mean, it is borderline unplayable now. So 18.5 points still feels, appropriate. I wouldn't be too surprised if they bumped her down to 17.5. You can see the lines are trending back the opposite direction. So if you don't have any exposure on Mabry right now, I would say maybe pump the brakes for a second, let it kind of whittle down a little bit. We saw a lot of line movements for some of these other players too throughout yesterday until this morning. And just kind of hold up for a minute. You might be able to get her a better value closer to locks. So keep that in the back pocket for now. But I love her. We talked about this team at length. It's just going to be Mabry and Sykes, and then insert whoever else beyond that. Usage rating for both of these players is well over 30% this last game, and I honestly expect that to just be the things moving forward. Another good matchup. Seattle looked pretty terrible on defense with the rebuild. They were getting cooked from the three-point line in that first game too. They actually, through the first two games, they've given up the most three-point attempts in total. We know Mabry's going to rip it from three, and they're also giving up a reasonable amount of free throws. It could be somewhat better, but I still think this is totally fine. Mabry's good about getting to the line as well. Didn't really see much foul trouble out of her in that last game. So all in all, love the usage, love the minutes. Should be two bad defenses going at it. So, hopefully Seattle shows up on the offensive front to keep it close enough. But I don't think this is going to be a blowout. Pace and total look fairly healthy for this. And, 167.5, I think that's totally fine. Toronto low-key might be a little bit faster of a team than we're giving them credit for. Same thing for Seattle, too. But I like it. Mabry's been a star, and this is her team now. So 15 points should be light work. Very reminiscent of our Alicia Gray from yesterday.
Good point. And there's even less usage battle in there with Marina. She's going to be pretty much the one. Sykes, I guess, a little bit here and there, but yeah, Mabry and all those foul shots. She'll probably get to the line a bunch. And Heaton 4 says, Yo, what's up, bro? He says Wilson head-to-head, Morrow boards. Head-to-head, I'm not sure where he's playing that at. Let us know. Some sports book, I guess. But Wilson head-to-head, Morrow boards, he says. Not sure exactly what that's about. Do you know where that is?
Yeah, it's over here on the old DraftKings. I saw that they started squeezing out some more head-to-head props, which did look pretty appealing. I think this one, not too bad. Morrow's kind of a menace on the glass. Don't sleep on her rebounding upside. So there's a few things here. Asia gets the matchup wise. She should be able to have a lot of free reign as far as being, snagging the boards and stuff here. A lot of offensive rebound potential. The only drawback would be if the game does blow out or there's any major concern on that aspect. Because I think it's a 14.5 point spread. Yeah, 14.5 point spread. So, on the road too, for that matter. She could lose out on a few minutes in that regard. So that could be kind of annoying if, Morrow's out there in garbage time and Asia's not. But it's, I think, a very fair comparison. I will love this even more, I will say, if kind of hold up on starting lineup, because we saw Morrow not start this last game, which I think is maybe subject to change. I get a sneaking suspicion that Nelson Adota actually gets a spot start here for Grinder, and then I think they still keep Morrow off the bench. But if Morrow's coming off the bench, I think that's totally fine. If she's a starter, then she might be priced into real heavy minutes. I wouldn't be shocked to see her play 33 or more. But keep an eye out for that. Not starter, I like it. Starter, a little bit more concerning.
I just realized he made me look at Asia. Asia has 4 rebounds in both games. Only 4 rebounds? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Dang. What's going on with that? Nalissa taking them all or what?
Yeah, you got Nalissa and then your usual guards that kind of crash the boards. She just they haven't needed her to do anything like above and beyond the extra. How Asia is, some nights where she's just kind of chilling and scoring, but the glass work, the rebounding and stuff has been kind of a team function. So this matchup probably would have been even better if we had Griner out there, because, there's going to be a lot of action in that, vicinity shots. Now, it could be a little bit more sketchy, say if Nelson Adota is putting up 4, 5, 6 field goal attempts, if that, and Kennedy Burke, also somebody who's very live to just go out and do nothing. This one's a tough one, man. This is a tough one.
Heaton Force says Jackie's been taking a lot of boards. I see 9 for Jackie last game, 3 the game before. Talbot got interested instead of Jewel too. Yeah, Talbot out there also. Yeah, but 4 is crazy. 4 both games, and she didn't have 4 last year the entire season. Never that low. 4 is crazy. I get 6, 7, 4, and we're at 10.5, and we're at Morrow against her even money. Man, I might take that. I would take that Morrow over Asia, and just close my eyes. But wait until we see if she starts or not.
Yeah. I mean, if Morrow's starting, she's a threat on the glass. 16 rebounds this last game is no slouch.
Right. No, she's a real threat on the glass. She's going for the glass while Asia's trying to score more. So I don't know, man. That's pretty interesting. Not that I'm gonna jump to it, but I do think that's interesting. Good call. Logan's back. What's up, Logan? He says, I like Jackie's rebounds. Jackie had 9 last game. What do you think about her rebounds?
Yeah, let's take a look at it. I mean, we always know that Jackie's a fairly decent rebounder. The matchup was really primo this last Sparks matchup. I mean, she had 5 boards, 9 assists, and then the Phoenix game, which was pretty terrible for Vegas. Only 66 points is kind of insane, but Jackie still had 6 and 3. I think those are totally fine numbers for her. I mean, on any given night, she should be good for somewhere in the range of 4 to 6 rebounds. Anything beyond that could start getting a little bit more sketchy. Mostly, I would just be worried about either of the backups, like Miss Parker or Brianna Turner. If either one of those start playing more minutes, then that's definitely going to cut into that rebounding production from the rest of the team. But this is another matchup we could easily see Vegas going small. They're not having to worry about Griner, and really just Adota basically is being the only true big on the other side. This is another easy thing. Asia could be out there by herself, snagging boards, and if that happens, then Jackie's going to pick up a lot more production. Jewel Lloyd also can be kind of a pain in the ass on that aspect. I know that last game didn't really do much, but the first game you can see Lloyd also had 4 boards and 3 assists. So that part of it, somewhat annoying, but outside of that, I mean, it should be pretty straightforward. It's just Asia, Jackie for the starters, and then a little bit of Alyssa Smith. Minutes always influx for her. You see 15 minutes here, and then she played 20-something the last game, 21 minutes. So there is some variance in that regard, but Jackie should be locked in for minutes. I mean, both her and Asia's, assuming the game is somewhat close.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and if anyone else has any comments or a play that you see that you love, throw it in the chat. We'll definitely shout it out and check it out. Heaton Force says, should I stay away from any of the games? I'm tempted to play a prop for every game, but I remind myself gambling is a daily thing, and you have to chase. You just have the chase the value instead of forcing it.
Well, if there is props that you do have interest in, with it being early in the season, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. If you have a good read on the game script of they haven't adjusted a prop adequately, like our Astier from yesterday, or Astier, that fantasy prop that was just kind of way out in left field, left by itself. There's a lot of instances that are like that. Being able to have a good game script in your head, I think it plays a lot into the betting process. But don't chase stuff. Don't try and chase a coin flip. Your typical lines, your Caitlin Clarks, your Asia, stuff like that, where they're already set to their normal season average lines and they're not really doing anything. You're not seeing anything extra. So you could play stuff from every game, but you don't have to. Don't feel like you got to force stuff. There's plenty of season left. I mean, we're only 2 games in. There's 42 games left in just the regular season. So there's a lot of action. There's going to be days like today where we're going to get injury news. Something's going to happen, and it's just going to break value wide open. So pick your battles. You always want to have some bankroll left in reserve for those kind of moments.
Right. Feel good about passing too. Realize passing is winning, because if you're not playing something you love or you feel value in, you don't want to put money on that. Just hold back that urge. I know it's exciting. What's up? What were you doing?
I was just gonna say, Real fast before we keep going on to some of the comments and questions, just a bit of learning in some of the ways that we can also look at stuff. So if you go to the WNBA website, you can go to the individual games itself and look at some of these stats just to at least give you kind of a better frame of reference. So like the Jackie rebounds, for example, you can go over here in the tabs. They have a traditional where you can see the actual numbers, but you can switch it to the usage tab. Now, as far as I know, nobody really does potential rebounds for WNBA. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but at least in this situation, you can go over here and see the rebound category or the individual offensive defensive rebounding. So for Jackie Young, she had almost a 20%, 19.2 rating. And then you can kind of compare that to who the rest of the rebounders on the team were at the time. Like Nilissa Smith, she had a great rebounding game, had 35%, no surprise there. Asia had a terrible game, 16%, no surprise. And then Brianna Turner in short minutes still had a really, really high usage rating for rebounding. So you can just kind of look at this to give you somewhat of a scope percentage-wise what you could be expecting in most games, and then flip back over to the regular numbers and kind of put that in perspective what the minutes per production looks like.
There you go. Too Legit says Asia first half. He's back to Asia. Big Mama Asia. Logan says Kennedy Carter 12 points? ? And Dirty Reg says, I like it. Pick our spots carefully is how I feel. Yeah, man, you don't got to play. That's our advantage. Our advantage is they have to make all the calls. They have to put all the lines out there. We get to pick and choose which ones we want. So make sure you love it before you put money on it, because you never know.
Yeah, and the cool thing about that too is, we are going to get to a point where everything is just unbelievably inflated, and when they zig, it's time to zag. That's when we start taking unders, when they're just continuously bump it up and up and up and up.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
No jig from yesterday. Perfect example. A player who went from 6.5 points, 7.5 points, 11.5 points. Bro, I told y'all this girl is not going to shoot 100% from the field, and she was probably one of the freest unders yesterday, and something that you can see books or were not in sync with. Her stuff was way out of line.
What'd they have her at yesterday?
11.5 points.
And what'd she end with?
Right. She was scoreless for most of the game. Let me see. It was Valkyries, right? Last time they played? Or no, it was Minnesota. She had 2 points. Yeah, 0 for 6.
Eek. Ouch.
Yep. And I didn't even notice it. This was something we probably could have jumped on, but she ended up not being a starter either. They moved. I'm not going to pronounce that. Big AJ over here. They moved her Ayayi.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if I butchered it. I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible. I'm sorry.
You're getting better. You're getting better at that.
So, and also stuff like that too. Whenever there is personnel change to the lineups, that can change value wildly. For as far as trying to chase an over for somebody or take the under because now they're coming off the bench. You get a first half prop, something like that. We were talking about Asia, for example. If there was any kind of world that Asia was to come off the bench just out of nowhere, well, we're probably going to have an interest in her first half unders because it's going to change the dynamic, and she's not going to play the normal rotations, lose out on minutes, or X, Y, and Z is going to happen. But speaking of Asia, I do like her. I think this is a totally fine matchup. I mean, losing Griner down low is going to be pretty huge. She should be able to fairly walk over Nelson Adota and or whoever else they have down there. Came up a little shy this last game. I mean, honestly, she just shot bad. She didn't get too many free throw calls and also missed a free throw that should have sent her over. So I don't mind this. I do not mind this. I mean, we got to remind ourselves, Asia was all the way up to 14.5 first half points for a lot of last year. So this is very discounted.
That's why Too Legit to Quit is on it. He says Asia first half. What about Kennedy Carter?
So, I mean, Carter's interesting. I'm a huge fan of her as a player. I was very excited to see her back into the league, but there's been a little bit of inconsistencies with her minutes in her game so far. I know this last game looked outstanding. She was able to get garbage time, so that is something I think strong consideration for this matchup. Easily could be out there with the cleanup crew. her minutes being a little bit more capped is kind of annoying. I would love to see her play over 20 minutes and not splitting so much time on the court with Jewel Lloyd and, surrounding company. Lloyd's been kind of annoying in the usage department there, but I think somebody that would be developing, moving in the right direction would be Carter. Now, she was at 11.5 points earlier, so you're paying a little bit of tax on that. Let's see real fast. Can we find that 11.5 still somewhere else?
Yeah, I see it here. I see it on Props Builder.
I'm assuming it's 11 or 12.5 on Prizepicks. 12.5 there. $12.5 here. Ooh, this is actually really good value considering 0.74 for the 9.5. I can mess with that.
Bro, you can get minus 150, 10.5 on Props Builder.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
That's not bad. That's not bad. The 12.5, I'm not too mad at it. I would much rather play the 11.5 if you can find that somewhere. But she's just on somewhat of a minutes limit. Just keep that in mind. There's a real good chance she could not go out and play more than 22, 23 minutes.
Yeah, that's the scary part. So she's gonna have to be doing her thing out there with her small amount of minutes. Those are always the scary ones. I like staying away from those personally. But 11.5 minus 105 Props Builder. Good little value there.
Yeah, it's on Props Builder and on Bet365 currently, so you can get it on either one of those sites. Or I'm sure PrizePicks has the 11.5. Oh, no, they don't. No, they don't. Well, the 9.5 is a 2.3 for a 2-pick, and then over here on Underdog, you can get that for a 2.59. Wow, that's actually really good value for 9.5. That's a huge discount. That's good value. This is really
the wheels
good value.
are turning. He's starting to like it. Look at him. I could tell. Who wants to play Chennedy Carter though? I love her, but the minutes, like you said, man, I hate worrying about the minutes.
Yeah, because you think about like who she's sharing time with. Yes, I think she should be playing over Talbot and or whoever else they have out there. But the other two guards, Jackie and Gray, neither one of them foul a lot, so you're not exactly a shoe-in to soak up minutes from either one of those. And this could be something we could see a case-by-case situation with her. Even that first game, it was a 30-point loss, and she only played 19 minutes, but the production a little subpar. So last game she hit a 3 and she got to the free throw line. The 3-point, I think maybe is a little subject from game to game, but I do feel like she should be getting to the free throw line a fair amount. So this is a game that she could definitely get there, no problem. It's just the minutes, man. It's just the minutes. We don't know if she's on a hard cap or something. That's 2 blowout games in a row where she didn't play over 20 minutes.
Right. We'll see. Jay Work says Big Pauline did good on her fantasy score yesterday. Big Pauline. Oh, yeah. That was a great one.
Crushed it. First half cash. We like that. Starfall's here. What's up, bro? He says Howard and Miles were so free yesterday. So free. And we're at 20 likes. Appreciate you guys. We need 5 more likes for good luck today on all our bets. Only 5 away. That's right. Super good luck.
Super duper good luck.
Oh, yeah. Yesterday definitely felt nice, The one blemish is going to happen here or there, but I don't think that ruined anybody's night all in all.
Hey, before you get on to one of these plays, I just wanted to throw this out there. Logan is talking Cardoso with us, so I know you see Cardoso there. Maybe we can pivot to her with his question. He says, what do you think about Cardoso points and rebounds? Golden State is small and run.
Yeah, so technically speaking, Golden State is still playing the same good defense inside the paint that they did last year, but this is something that we talked about on week 1 with Malonga as well. I think there is some kind of drawbacks that we're going to see from this team overall. They lose a couple key players up front, and it's going to make a big difference. Now, Malonga able to have her way with them. Went out and put up 21 or 23 points against them. I already had it up here on the screen, so we can kind of take a gander at. But Malanga, 21 points. I think the rebounding going to be a little bit sketchy there. So maybe Golden State typically is not a team that I would target for the rebounding upside. They're usually top 3 in 3-point attempts per game. So just kind of keep that in the back of your head there. But yeah, I mean, the first game, both Malanga was able to do a lot of damage. I mean, even Steph Dolson, for that matter, went 2 of 3, very efficient, 6 points. And then we had Mackenzie Holmes, who could have scored a little bit more, but was more just annoying on the glass. So high usage center, no problem, able to walk all over them. And then we look at the next game with the Mercury. We had essentially all 3 of their forwards do a lot of damage. I mean, Alyssa Thomas went out and put up 19 points, 9 rebounds, a little bit better about that. Small or power forward position does rebound a bit more frequently. Center, though, loses out on a lot of rebounding. So just please keep that in mind. The center will lose out with rebounding. But Natasha Mack, I mean, this is another person. Her line was at 7.5 points, I believe. Put up double digits, 11 points, no problem. I mean, Copper, pretty solid game. Could have been a little bit better. And then Roshan off the bench, she was able to put up 9 points as well. So I think the coolest thing about Cardoso is she plays really good bully ball. And we did get news that Natasha Cloud is likely going to be out for this game. Hold on, let me see. Is she in fact out or likely out? Because she's been dealing with the illness for the last couple of days. Okay, so could make her debut for this game. Honestly, I'm not too worried about that. If anything, she'd probably come off the bench. But this has been Rickea Jackson and Cardoso's team. I mean, through and through, it's their team. Sprinkle in whichever guard vet player you want, and then beyond that, it really doesn't matter. We know we're not getting much offense from J.C. Sheldon either. I'm not too mad about this matchup, honestly. It kind of stinks that it is in Golden State. That's something I would try to avoid normally. But yeah, they're going to have a problem with Cardoso. And the cool thing also with Chicago is they shoot so many threes that as a team, I don't think that Golden State can function enough to try and throw a lot of doubles at Cardoso. So we should get a fair amount of single coverage down low. And if they're running the pick and roll game, I mean, she could easily get into that free throw marker, multiple trips to the line. I don't think that's any problem. But also the fact that Cardoso was at 15.5 points, went up to 16.5 points, and then they dropped her all the way back down to a really, really appealing 13.5 points. It's just hard to pass up on that, man. Hard to pass up on that usage, over 30% in both games. The next best player will probably be Rickea Jackson, so I do have interest in her as well. But yeah, man, the line for Cardoso is just so low. I think that's something that we got to have more interest in. And we got it on the list. So 13.5 points was the ticket.
16.5 all the way down to 13.5? Really? That's crazy. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, she had a lot of movement.
Alrighty then.
Let's see. And then the last person that we had to talk about, just kind of circling back to that first game with Toronto, Malanga, 24.5 PR. Now, if you missed that line, Prizepicks did still have her PRA is also the same thing. Didn't really make any sense. They have her PR and PRA at the same 25.5. So, I mean, you might as well either play the PRA or the fantasy at 32. They bumped that up too. That's kind of annoying. Yeah, I mean, the PRA probably just makes the most sense. We just get the free assist thrown on anyways. But I like her. I think this is a great bounce back matchup. I mean, we saw the damage that Washington was able to do in that first season game against Toronto. I mean, Shakira Austin went for like 18 and 11. Kiki went for 12 and 16, if I'm not mistaken. And even Betts, I mean, off the bench, she had a high rebound clip. Couldn't score any points, but still had a ton of rebounds. Yeah, Shakira had 18-11, Kiki with 12 and 16. So there's a ton of PR upside for this particular matchup. Last game, obviously, Malanga got into massive foul trouble. She did a lot of damage in the fourth quarter when she finally got minutes, but had to sit out basically the entire first half and then picked up an early foul as well in the third quarter. So missed out on a ton of minutes, basically a third of her minutes that she should have played. I think this is another matchup we can easily pick on this front court for Toronto. I mean, we lost. Not having Fag Bentley there is going to be one massive thing. And then also, we're essentially just going to have Nayara Sabli out there covering Dom by herself. Sabli's a little bit bigger, but I mean, Dom's still got, she's 6'7" to a 6'4", so there's gonna be a little bit of difference. But also being able to draw the fouls too. I mean, you saw this last game. Let's see, Sabley had 5 fouls. Even the backup, who should be getting some minutes here, she had 5 fouls. So ton of potential for free throws. I mean, we saw Dom get to the free throw line a bunch, which I will say, side note also, her 3.5 free throw attempts I think is very live for this matchup. Looked great in the preseason. Only had 2 this last game, but again with the minutes. Yeah, she should be able to do some serious damage here. And I think the defense is weak enough on the other side for her to be able to put up some numbers. Plus, we will the upside of not really having to worry about any kind of foul problems. The only player she should be worried about maybe fouling would be Sykes. And if that's our only problem, I'll take that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Come on, Malonga. She's going to come through, man. Starfall says, how do you feel about Heidemann first half PRA? Under.
Yeah, I think we actually specifically talked about that in the Discord earlier. Let me double check. Yeah, actually, we were talking about that this morning. Heidemann under PRA. I think the first half, she did see a little bit of bumps in her full game line, so I'm not sure if, let's see if that first half moved around a lot or not. Yeah, honestly, man, I mean, she's just been kind of a ghost of herself so far with this team. I mean, her three-point shooting is way down. She has yet to have a game with multiple threes made, which, was kind of her forte from last season. But the production there, I mean, she has 0 through both games so far, so that's a little wild. I do think there is some positive regression with that. She should be hitting a few more buckets per game. But the assistant playmaking, I mean, only at 3.5 is pretty fair. She's not really doing a whole heck of a lot on that. The potentials aren't sky high. And then the rebounding also for her, a little bit sketchy. She's very Courtney Williams-esque, so she can get a few boards here and there. But yeah, I mean, all in all, man, her lines are quite high. I don't mind the first half under. I think that one a little bit sweatier than what the full game might be. Because we saw like this last game, she kind of benefited a little bit from Malonga being out, but still didn't really do much from that. So I think it's a good look, honestly. You are getting attacks in your favor compared to the full game line. So, I mean, there is that at least.
Fool Heidemann. She's done us well with the unders off and on. A little different this year with being on a new team, though, huh? Not really knowing what she's going to do. But makes sense. Starfall says, crazy how we think the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not mad at it, honestly. First half, full game, either or.
All right.
Plus,
cool.
she'll be dealing with Julie on the other side, who hasn't been that bad of a defender either.
I just noticed something kind of interesting. Gotta look into it a little more. But this Cauchy prediction site that I was telling you about, they seem to have alt unders.
Ooh, do they now?
I think so. I gotta check a little more. I don't know if we can parlay them or not, and they don't have like every player and they don't have like every prop, but could be interesting. We'll look into it.
I'm with it. We like a good under.
Oh yeah, I'm fiending for him.
All right. So there was a couple other plays, at least just to kind of throw out on the radar to talk about. One of them being, I still liked Veronica Burton. Her fantasy, I think, is very appropriate. Still under that 35 marker. Multiple steals a game. I mean, we know her assist rating has been pretty outstanding. This last game, she actually saw a reduction in her scoring upside. She started the game off really well and then kind of puttered out with that, but still put up 43 fantasy. I mean, I think any close games, we saw a lot of this last season. She's a RA getter. She's a stock getter. And then when she starts hitting her threes, that fantasy just really erupts closer to like 40 plus. So I don't mind the matchup. I would like it maybe a little bit better if Cloud, in fact, does play. We should be able to pick up a few steals off of that. But even Skylar, Skylar doesn't have much of a three-point range, so she will try and bully down and try and get to the free throw line in that mid-range action, which Burton is really, really good at stopping. So I don't mind the matchup at all there. She could get a few turnovers herself, but not too worried about that on the other side. The other one was, I know you and I kind of talked about Salon for a little bit. I like her. I think her lines are still very appropriate. just a little bit streaky. The shooting has been phenomenal to start the season, but we know these 3-point shooters will hit a small regression. 14.5 points, 13.5 points would be a little bit better. I'm not mad at it. I'm just this is one of those, maybe we got the value the first time and it's kind of time to walk away. But 13.5 points, I still think is totally fine for her if you can find it. Not too mad at that. Oh, look at Prizepicks being sneaky.
What do they do?
Yeah, so you got to click the buttons. They have the 14 here as the front number, and then you can click it, and the actual line is right there.
Does it pay the same?
Payout. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Weird.
Yeah. You always got to kind of cycle through the plays, make sure you see what you see, because they'll be a little sneaky about it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So Aaliyah Boston, her lines ended up moving down. I still think she is a very strong play. I don't mind the fantasy PRA potential for her. Probably just fantasy because there will be a lot of block and steal upside for this matchup. Going up against Hamby or Neka on the other side looks good. And then low-key, I kind of like Hamby for a little bounce-back game. Should be a lot of block or a lot of rebound and assist potential for this. I know her scoring was pretty shit this last game, but see, the bookies, they know. She opened today at 25.5, and she's all the way up to this. They know.
They always do. They always do.
Okay, so a couple other potential ones, at least just kind of put up on the radar for y'all. We do have quite a bit of Morrow already today, but got to shout out the Morrow plus Asia prop. If this game is remotely close, this prop is going to be a banger. Easy 20 points from Asia tonight, and Morrow I could see putting up close to that. Not the biggest fan. It is bumped twice now. It was at 36.5 earlier, but something on the radar. A little something. And then same thing with Malonga and Mabry. I think this is also an appealing one.
Yeah. You like that one. We're at 23 likes. We need 2 more. We only need 2 more.
2 more likes for the sweep. Come on, baby.
2 more likes. Kaushi did me wrong. You can't parlay them. You can only do one at a time.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
Dang. That's kind of weak. Weak sauce.
Of course. We'll still be looking.
Now, we are getting some props for Thursday up as well. I did see Paige and Brianna Stewart. I don't know did we get any kind of news for that? What the hell is this? There's games tomorrow, right? I'm not tripping.
Whoa, 26 likes. We made it, guys. We made it. Appreciate you guys.
There's 2 games tomorrow. Okay.
27. Louisville Gambler says you can parlay, hit the combo in the top corner. You can, but you can't parlay these particular ones. Appreciate it though, man. Yeah, I know you can combo some stuff, but once you hit the combo button, they remove a bunch of stuff. I'm pretty 95% sure that you can't parlay these particular props. But let me know if I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. But right when I hit combo, it brings you back to the beginning, and then it only gives you the money lines to pick from. So I think they are telling us, no, we don't want you to win and do easy things like that. But let me know if I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Ayo says, I love this effing show. What's up, Ayo? Logan says Rivers turnovers over. You know you love turnovers. What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I think that's a totally fine prop. I mean, this whole team should be live to see multiple turnovers. Now, Rivers will be a little bit more involved in the playmaking and stuff. The offensive usage, scoring-wise, might be a little lackluster, but she will be a primary and or secondary playmaker, so I think that's totally fine. I mean, Chelsea Gray likely to cover her for a little while, if not the whole game. I think that's totally fine. I mean, we saw Gray's been playing pretty solid defense overall, so let's assume one bonehead turnover and out of bounds or a travel or whatever, and then I think honestly we're just looking for one forced turnover from Vegas, and we'll be good.
Okay. There you have it. Anyone else have any questions or a play that you're seeing that you're loving, or some value somewhere that maybe you saw that we didn't see and you want to be nice guy and throw it up there, or nice girl, or whatever? Throw it up there in the comments, guys. We all hate the bookies together.
There's probably some possible value out of this Indiana and Sparks game, but man, these props are just so high, and it's got me a little weirded out that we've seen a lot of player props bump down to and kind of moving in the opposite direction of where the field was going. I'm a little put off from this. I think this could be an absolute banger of a game, and maybe we'll circle back to that because it is going to be one of the two games for the late night hammer. But man, these props are high. I mean, essentially both of these teams are just jumping right into season averages. Like, there's no value whatsoever.
So we're running the alt total over. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I think that is totally perfect. We had talked about that yesterday on stream too. That should still be pretty solid. Let's kind of compare what you got in front of you for options.
I got 173.5, and I believe it'll probably be around minus 300.
Yeah, I mean, that's really good value. Best I could do, split the difference. We got 170.5 minus 550, and then 175.5 at minus 320. So props builder looking like the best for that.
Yeah, props builder got the alt totals, man. We gotta make some sense of this. But that game, 173, and then is there another game out of the other three that look interesting, or are they all kind of just who knows? I was thinking, can we do is there an alt total that we raise up and go under? But is there a slow game here? I didn't have time to really look into this today. I wanted to, but I didn't get to it.
I mean, one possible slow one could definitely be the Chicago Golden State or the Seattle Toronto game. If I had to pick between the two, I think those two, pace wise, probably the Valkyries in Chicago.
Yeah. And we can put that one all the way up to 178.5. That's probably pretty nice. Might take a stab at that just for fun.
Just out of curiosity, what the pace for both of these teams is. So we got Golden State is dead last in pace, and Chicago is 11 out of 15. So two really slow teams.
Yeah, man. Might have to do that.
I'm not mad at it.
Minus 154, under 178.5 for that game, and over 173.5 for the other game. So that's cool. Logan has a couple ideas here. He says Kelsey Plum over 19.5 points, and or Kelsey Mitchell field goals attempted at 14.5. I know you're talking Kelsey Mitchell a little bit yesterday. What do you think about her field goal attempts?
Yeah, I mean, her field goal attempts still make quite a bit of sense. You know, maybe there's a little bit more kind of a trade-off for Caitlin Clark to, put up a few more shots here. But Kelsey Mitchell still, primary backbone for the team. I think on most nights it'll be her, and then her is the 1A, and then Clark or Boston as the 1B. Boston also, I know you and I kind of talked about, a little weird. She seems to be on a minutes limit of some sort. This last game did not play many minutes at all, and she was absolutely dominating and not in foul trouble. This extremely high scoring game too, so maybe there's like some fatigue or whatever was going on, but still only played 26 minutes. So I think that could be something of value for us if she's staying under that 30-minute marker. Somebody else is going to soak up that field goal volume. Kelsey Mitchell been pretty good in the second half, for most of this season so far, preseason and everything too, where she was able to play. But that's something with her that's a little obnoxious from time to time. She'll kind of fall off in the second half every now and again, and Clark will take over. But I think Kelsey Mitchell totally fine. It's still early in the season. Pace and total looks really good.
Afterwards he wrote he meant Plum at 14.5. Sorry. Kelsey Mitchell's at 16. So he meant Plum at 14.5, I believe. But he says Mitchell is 16, which he still likes also. So either way, Plum or Mitchell, what do you think?
Now Plum's a little bit more interesting. I will say this is something that was like right on the line for her last year, that 13 and a half, 14 and a half, because the 13 and a half, I believe, looked a little too good. Yeah, so we go from 49% up to a 63%. So that was kind of like their, divided line that they had all season. I don't mind the 14 and a half. I think it's still very appropriate. The only drawback would be if we see Hamby start to get a little bit more active with the field goal attempts. That could definitely cut into some of our usage here. And Plum gets to the free throw line a fair amount too. So, I mean, that is something you got to keep in the back of your head. She had 2 games with a lot of free throws against them last year, and then 2 games with barely any. Now, I did not see this line through a single game last year, so kind of keep that in mind. Might be one to fade. I love Kelsey. I love Kelsey. She looked phenomenal to start last season. She did a lot of this, but just keep that in the back of your head. She did not hit that line one single time last year.
All right, there you have it. Ben Negro Jones is back. What's happening, bro? He says he got a big parlay. Let's listen to it real quick. Mabry 25 PRA. Dom Malanga 25 PR. Camilla, 12 points. Morrow, 12 points. Diamond, 10 points. Carter, 10 points. Plus 1221 with 30% boost. Which one do you not like if we just wanted to have something to talk about his parlay? Which one do you like the least? Let me see if you pick the one I picked.
Camilla. Sorry, I was like, which one's Cam?
Yep. Big Camilla.
I mean, it's probably Dom. I mean, I don't know, man. It's hard to say. Honestly, that's hard to say. They're all really close to just their normal lines. I'm just out of curiosity what the normal payouts would be. Say if like you play Diamond at her 10.5 points, Dom at her, well, I guess it's the same thing. I like it, man. Honestly, I don't think that's a bad slip. The only thing would be maybe Dom, just because you're essentially just playing a full line for her. I mean, that's a full line, and the Diamond is a full line. But I'm not mad at it. I mean, those are all plays that we have a lot of interest in today. So that's a big boosty.
Good luck.
Which one were you thinking?
I was thinking Carter. Just because.
Carter?
We don't know. Yeah, just because her minutes aren't super secure. She scored 20. We know her, but in a parlay, I try to keep it to the at least the starters so we know they're going to get the minutes, or the lines are just so low that they just feel super easy to get to. So you never know, but you know me, I try to be as safe as possible. Dirty Reg says NECA 2 threes for plus 142 is not bad. She had 3, 4, 5 in a loss last game.
Yeah, she's definitely shooting at 3. I mean, that was something that was a little bit more a part of her bag last season. Let's see, she only shot 5 last game. I don't mind it. We're still just looking for a lot of efficiency there. So do keep that in the back of your head. I mean, she basically shot over 50% this last game. She hit quite a few of them last year. So, I mean, I know that is very live for her to do. I mean, we had 21 out of the 40 plus games. So, I mean, it is a 50% marker, at least for her. I don't know if this matchup is necessarily the best. Yeah, so she only had one game last season where she went 2 of 2, which is kind of scary, but we had a back-to-back 1 of 4. Still put up a lot of scoring numbers, though. You know, the best way to attack Indiana typically is inside the paint, trying to get the free throw line, too. I don't mind it. It's just kind of one of those, this team just has so many three-point shooters. I mean, all 5 of the starters can take threes. So it's going to be kind of game flow dependent, but yeah, she could totally go out and do that, no problem. For plus money, I don't mind that.
Mario Riley, he's back. What's up? He says Heidemann under PRA. Somebody said Heidemann under first half PRA. That was Starfall, I believe. So what do you think about her full game PRA?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's totally fine. The line did move down a little bit. She was at 19.5 earlier. I think maybe Underdog still might have it. Nah. So she did move a full point down from earlier.
He said Diggins also under PRA. I like these unders. People thinking about unders.
I like the Heidemann under still. You know, she could scare us a little bit more from the 3-point line today. But, I mean, all in all, I think the RA downside is enough there. And Allman's a pretty good – or not Allman. Allman on the other side is a pretty good defender. And if she has any kind of help coverage, I mean, she should still at least have a reasonable defender on her. I think truly we're just sweating that 3-point production from her. It's going to happen at some point or another. We will see that. But is this the game on the road? Maybe not necessarily. I like that one, though. I like that one. Now, with Skylar, there's a little bit of hesitation there because she does function a little bit more in that mid-range action. If Golden State is doing that drop coverage again, that could be somewhat problematic. But she doesn't draw a 3-point upside much. I mean, this is a matchup for her to have it, but she doesn't really have that great of a 3-point shot. I would love that play a lot more if Cloud plays tonight. That would be my biggest thing, because they don't really have that great of a functioning backup point guard, so she's just kind of priced into minutes right now. But if Cloud does play, she's going to see some kind of minutes reduction in whatever capacity that is. So I would like it there. But they're really short on guards, so just kind of keep that in mind too.
All right. 3 times coming in with the good vibe says, what up, everyone? Happy Wednesday. What's up, bro?
Woo-hoo!
And we're at 31 likes. 31 likes. Let's go.
Let's go. Seriously, you guys are amazing. Thank you.
We might have to up our good luck likes to 35 tomorrow. I don't know. We'll just keep it at 25 today. And yeah, man, we should have a good day. I like all the plays you got on the list there. We're rounding about the 3 o'clock time, 6 o'clock your time. So if there's anything else you guys want to ask or a play you guys like, throw it in the chat real quick before we get out of here. What else you thinking, E?
Honestly, I think we just keep it pretty straightforward today. Maybe we'll mess around a little bit for the late night games, but we have a normal start time in just over an hour for the first game, and then an hour in between the two here. So maybe some news happens. We could always get news that'll break for us anytime we have kind of an in-between slate like this where it's broken down into sections. We could get value that opens up, so keep an eye out for that. But maybe something for this. I think if we're going to play something, it'll likely be from this Indiana Sparks game. But yeah, I mean, right now we got some great value locked in. It's good value whenever the lines are moving afterwards. So both props for Morrow moved, Mabry moved, Miller not yet moved, Malanga moved, and then I think Cardoso, maybe she swings around a little bit more here. But I'd be shocked if this moved down again. If it goes down to 12.5, I'm going to double down on it. I don't even care.
That'd be wild. Mario, before we get out of here, says Jackson under PRA and Rivers under PRA.
The Rivers under, I still like. I mean, she's playing on a minutes cap. Coach is not excited about her whatsoever. Especially in the blowout situation, you think she would play a little bit more, but has yet to eclipse 30 minutes in either game. This last game, too, she only had 2 fouls, and, I mean, this was something that, I had an issue with her initially. I think plays great defense, solid RA person for the team. She's a great, small forward style player, but terrible offense. Just absolutely terrible in offense. Does not have a confident shot yet. It could change. This could definitely be something that improves on, but right now, very scared shooter. Just, not feeling that aspect of the game. So I do not mind her unders at all.
I was looking at her unders too, and then when Griner went out, I was like, I don't know. I mean, I know obviously they don't play the same position, but will that usage be gone and she'll get a few more shots up, or do you think it's? I mean, her lines didn't move at all, did they?
Not really, no.
Okay. Yeah, man. Can we go? Oh yeah, we can't parlay that. Too bad. Okay, man, give us those alt unders, E. Come on. Anyways, I digress. 31 likes. 3 p.m.
Real fast. Same thing with Jackson. I don't mind it, but Jackson does play a pretty unhinged amount of minutes, so she's going to be out there for easily 33 to 36 minutes a night. The only kind of difference with her is we don't know exactly what that 3-point shot is going to look like. This last game, she didn't have to. She was getting to the free throw line a bunch, so she kind of chilled out on the 3-point shooting. But we saw a lot of it in Unrivaled, and we saw a lot of it last season. Her three-point shooting took a huge step forward. So if she's feeling the threes, she can absolutely cook this Golden State team from the arc. So just keep that in mind. Or she can get in foul trouble, and it's a free under. But either way, just a little caution there. She's going to have a lot of usage.
All right, sounds good, man. Rivers PRA is what? They don't even have that on Underdog, do they? Very weird.
Probably not. 16 flat on Prizepicks.
16 flat. 16.5 on Props Builder, 16.5 on DraftKings. They're not letting you take the under on DraftKings, they know.
No.
Okay.
Does she not have a PR line? Am I tripping? Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
PR is not bad. It's not bad. I know she's a capable rebounder, but I could see her having a lot more playmaking upside here. That's not bad.
I was about to say, does she get assists?
She does.
Yeah. Oh, okay. No wonder.
It's mostly just because Petty and Lacan are out. If those were playing, then that wouldn't be a concern.
Oh wow. She had 17 potentials in the first game.
Yeah, let's see what that usage rating, just out of curiosity, was looking like. Let's see, Rivers. Yep, 40% usage for her playmaking.
Wow. So she's just not shooting.
No, 15%, 11% on field goal attempts, and she had a 10% rebound rating.
Gotcha. I see why you're looking at PR instead of PRA, of course. So her rebounds are at 2.5. She's got 2 and 1. 9.5 points.
Same thing in the other game too. 37% assist rating. She had a 5% rebound rating, and she did have a 21% field goal rating, but she shot like shit.
Oh, now I see why people are on her. She had 2 points and 1 rebound last game. Eesh. Okay. She's doing absolutely nothing. She misses Mabry probably. 33 likes. Let's go.
Let's go. All right, y'all. We are going to go on and get out of here. We got just under an hour left. First game starts at the top of the hour, so stick around for that. We will be in the Discord getting ready for everything to kick off. I'm feeling pretty good about tonight, y'all. Hopefully, we're going to walk out with the brooms, but we'll catch you back tomorrow for the stream. We got 2 games tomorrow to talk about and getting ready for the weekend, but good luck tonight, y'all. We'll catch you later, and have a good one. Peace.
But I've had enough.
Man, I had enough. My whole clique, I'm at the fucking road.